Okay, we are live. And for those of you on Facebook, yes, I'm hopeful this is working, that it's on Facebook as well as YouTube. New banners, new play, etc. So I'm hopeful all of this is working. So while we are waiting, I'm Debbie A. Anderson, and today and for the next 5 months, hopefully, I'll be broadcasting from Mazatlan in Mexico. Warm, sunny welcome from me to everyone today. And a big thank you, as always, for joining us for yet another Monday Live as we raise the vibration and share the positive. Every week, Monday at noon Eastern, I invite you to join me here on YouTube and hopefully Facebook and introduce to you yet another vibrational guest. But before we begin, if you are the first one to show up and you get to decide which of the I am vibration, the I am sacred or the I am vibrational. So type in either green or orange into the feed below and you will get to choose which deck I will use today. So either green or orange. Okay, and then you get your 3 seconds of claim to fame. While I'm waiting to see which affirmation deck we're going to use, and I will be shuffling, I'm going to light my candle. And this is it. I'm sorry, I don't have my little angel this week, but I will hopefully for the next episode. That's one thing about Mazatlan. It's very Catholic here, so if I can't get an angel candle, the very least I can get a Mother Mary or something like that. So good morning, Gus. If you would like to choose which deck I shuffle from, the I am sacred or the I am vibrational, orange or green, as you are the first one on. Okay, so and any of you just tuned in, there is no weekly reading this week, none whatsoever, for a couple of reasons. Like our subject of conversation today, the universal laws, this is the law of cause and effect. Thank you, Gus. So the green one, I will shuffle in a moment. So on this occasion, I just wanted to see here if any of you have missed it. And nobody's put anything up, where's the weekly reading or anything of that. Because here's the thing, I put a lot of effort into it. Spirit put a lot of effort into this. And then I share it with you guys, okay? And including meditation, recording and uploading, it takes about 3 hours of my time. So the soft and fluffy Debbie is saying, if you can't take 20 minutes out of your time to watch it, ingest, absorb what guidance Spirit is sharing with us all, then I will slice off 2 hours of my time and just listen to Spirit sharing with me direct. Sorry, but every day I post something uplifting and positive for everyone. And either you're too busy or it just doesn't resonate. So again, please message me and let me know, because I'm only trying to do something to share with you. But if you're not taking the time to watch it, then I'll just do it for me. I'm happy. So we have, Gus has chosen the I Am Sacred deck. Sorry, Connie, she put in the orange. So I will see, let me just shuffle the green deck and see what we have. And then hi, Jenny. Nice to see you. Hi, Angela. Connie. Okay, let me just see. Oh, there's the card. And it's quite on key for what I just said. It's card number 30. I am sacred, so I can vibrationally empower my individuality. So obviously, I'm going to be doing more for me in the next short while than I will be for everybody else. And that is okay for me. So maybe this is the time for it. The time difference is an issue for me. Yeah, sorry about that, but we will go forward and try and do this. So the conversation today is universal laws. And I'm with my wing woman today, Ida Mae Keatley. And for any of you who don't know or remember Ida Mae Keatley, let me tell you that she is a healer, a medium, as well as an empath intuitive. And Ida, like me, started seeing spirit at a very early age. And like me, she emigrated from England to Canada. Hence being the wing woman, I think. Anyway, Ida Mae holds her Reiki Masters, Chi Earth Masters, High Dimensional Healer, and Crystal Therapist Diploma. She offers readings and healings. She is a spiritual life coach. She teaches her Healer's Practitioner course combined with color, thought, oils, and crystals. She does her course for animals, especially for dogs and horses, so owners can connect. And of course, there is so much more to Ida May. So if you want to check her out, all her links are below in the feed. So connect with her. So Ida, thank you so much for coming back and opening up this conversation with me. As always, when we spend time together, we have fun and we share.
We have a good chat beforehand.
We all do. We can do a catch up now to beforehand. So if you're joining us live and questions come up to do with universal laws, please pop them in the chat below. So with everything that is going on in the world, I wanted to start today's conversation off with a quote from Wayne Dyer. Okay? And this was his quote: "You'll be happy to know that the universal law that created miracles hasn't been repealed." Now, that was written quite a few years ago, and I think that is something, especially with today's goings on, and that's all I'm going to say, goings on. So let me begin sharing the basic universal law. And it is simplistic, the way somebody shared this with me many years ago. If you fall from a high mountain, you will fall to the ground, and most likely your death will occur. So whether you believe in gravity or not, this is a universal law. Isn't that so, Ida?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's open this conversation. Sorry?
It's not the falling that's the problem.
It's the stopping.
It's when you stop at the other end.
Correct. Okay, so let's open up this conversation, Ida. The floor is yours, and let's see where this takes us. And we may not be able to cover all the laws because there are 12, 13.
There's 12, the 12 that I sort of have here, which explaining to people that, you know, like they can abide by, but there are quite a few others, and it's the same as like with chakras. There's the main ones, and then there's semi-minor ones and minor ones, and again it depends on how a person portrays them, that even a minor one can be a big impact in you know, in a person's life, to how, you know, to where their lessons are going and where they're moving to. So, and I do apologize for everybody. This is different for me. I'm having to keep looking away from the screen because I'm on my cell phone, and it just gives me this little, makes me go a little bit boss-eyed. So if I'm looking out and about, I'm resting my eyes in between. Yeah. So, and I can't see any comments or anything that come up, and I dare not touch my phone in case it falls off.
Okay, so what I will do, Ida, is like before. So when a comment comes up, I'll pop it into the feed here. Okay.
I think that's awesome. Yeah, to go on to that. So okay, we have the 12 universal laws. I mean, depending on how people feel about them, I've got a sort of a brief explanation, you know, of them all, because again, in itself, if we go in depth and interact and everything else, I mean, you know, we could be, you know, doing one, you know, each hour sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
maybe we should take this, depending upon the response today. Maybe you and I can take this and just do a whole workshop on this online at some point, because we're both coming from the same direction, but with different perspectives, like everything. So I love that.
Yeah. So it's like the first one that I have down, like I'll read the 12 out so people, it can actually start working with people onto that. So we have the law of action. We have the law of attraction, the law of vibration, and the law of polarity. That's a big one on its own. The law of perpetual transformation of energy, law of relativity, the law of cause and effect, law of rhythm, law of gender, law of compensation, law of correspondence, and law of divine oneness. So these are just, you know,
some of them are known as different names as well. So if you know, you know, because everybody's put their own slant on it, I suppose. But in essence, they are still the same meanings, but sometimes people have called them by a different name. So before somebody says, well, what about the so-and-so law, or what about this, or whatever. So they're all the 12 laws are the same, but some people have renamed them, giving them a different.
And if they do, but I mean, a lot of it is as if you're going back to the teachings of Alice Bailey, and a lot of when it was downloaded, or channeled to her, and then went through the arcane school. The old teachings they have them as they're worded. Yes. Sort of like now, and like as we know that, like if you're going through, like how originally Reiki was. Now Reiki has gone through so many different hands and
transformation.
It has, and people have made it their own baby, and then often the whole concept behind it has got lost.
Yes, yeah,
and that's how I feel with with quite a few of the same as with bars. Like I took Reiki, I took Chios, and now with bars and how other people have got it, have gone onto it. People take a bit from that and they're making it their own. Okay, that's well and good, but again, really discern what is right for you and what is that truth, and how that resonates with you. So that's all that I'll say with that. And if you can
meditate, potato.
Yeah, but the thing is, if a person can meditate and then take that time out to daydream and such things and ask, and you really, really use your own intuition on it, you will actually start getting the downloads and guide it, to take your pace to where your path is going to go, I should say. Yeah. So the law of action is an action that should culminate in wisdom. So in higher dimensions of time and space, such as the realms of the fifth dimension, and the higher manifestation comes from the thought and expression of love emanating from within. So in the dimension below the fifth dimension, such as the third, in order for manifestation to occur, thoughts must be accompanied by action. So it's because the third dimension is a three-dimensional existence and accompanies the physical world. Now, as the consciousness is raised, an individual slowly begins to change his or her vibrational rate, transferring their awareness from the third to the fourth and then to the fifth. As the light increases, a person has a greater power to manifest things slowly with the power of the mind. But before this happens, the law of action has to be applied to manifest all that one wishes to create. That, if we really come out of there and put it into a layman term, it's if you're sitting back and turning around saying, I'm so poor, like, jeepers, I live paycheck to paycheck, and when am I going to get a break? Your intention that you've just put out there is, I'm poor, I live from paycheck to paycheck. So you've told the universe that you can live from paycheck to paycheck. So you've already set that intent by what you just said. If you sit back and you think to yourself, okay, how can I improve on this, and take action behind it and go, no more living paycheck to paycheck. I am open and willing to receive abundance every minute of every day. And visualize a check. Yeah. Visualize a check. Write your number in it, 50 million, whatever. Right? And someone will go, oh, yeah, right. Well, you've already then, just by going, oh, yeah, right, stop that flow. Yep. Right? There are miracles that are out there. As a lot of people know, I do a lot of this healing in time and space. I'm up there in those levels. I say daily that money comes to me freely and easily and in abundance daily. Right? And I truly believe it. And I go, I am going to win the lottery. I'm going to win it big, 50 million. And when the lottery comes up, if I go to do it, I go in and I go, it's mine. And then I have the set numbers. Sometimes I win, sometimes I don't. But I don't go, oh, yeah, well, this isn't working. Because the human ego will come into that and will have you say that. Then you've already got to start right back where you started from. Yep.
I always think, name it and claim it.
Exactly.
Name it and claim it. Yeah. Because when you do, it creates that abundance.
Yeah.
Because
and the thing is like, as we're just saying here about the vibrational levels that we're going through from the 3rd to the 4th to the 5th, right? Now we're going through those of raising the vibration when we keep ourselves lifted and we've got rid of that human ego, which the human ego to me is a pulling down heavy energy that will speak for us, that if somebody upsets us, that energy will come in, that we have to defend ourselves, we have to justify, and when we feel threatened, we have to fight back. And if we are centered and balanced and okay with ourselves and at total ease, we won't feel any of that. So we stay up in that vibration. Being in that vibration and on that wavelength going around, it's so easy to pick it up. So let's look at it. They've just shown me another way of looking at it. If you walk along on Earth and you're looking down and you walk the same path, you're wearing it out. There's no grass. You see the same, brown under the trees and where the leaves have died off. That will be your reality. But if you constantly walk and look up, you see blue skies, you see the sun, you see the leaves on the trees, you see the birds, you can hear them, you get a different picture, and it pulls you and pulls you and pulls you up, that you no longer want to walk with your head looking at the ground. That is what they just showed me.
Yeah.
So this is where, the action, it's up to us to take action and then put the intent behind the action.
Yes, I love that. And of course, I'm a 360 girl. I don't just look out or up or down. I'm scanning all the time, because it's like spirits throw us something and it's like, see me, see me, see me. And it might be a flower, or it might be a bird, or it might be one that I remember from many years ago was I was walking through a wooded area and the sunlight was coming down and we saw this orange glow ahead of us. What it turned out to be was the sun reflecting off an orange garbage bag thing, or one of those pies that they put onto things. But from a distance, it was beckoning us there to see it. And I took a lot of photographs of it because it was just such an amazing view, with the light and the sunlight beaming down through the trees and this orange just there in all the green and brown. So again, this is where, if we're open to accept it and see it, you'll be amazed.
I love that, because it goes back to that inner child as well.
Yeah.
And having that inner child energy of, oh my gosh, what is that? And looking ahead, looking to explore, seeking it out, and that energy going as well. So Spirit sent me a cardinal and a hummingbird yesterday. That is absolutely fantastic.
Isn't it gorgeous? Yes.
It is. That is just beautiful. It really, really is.
And that's
the two of those, if you have she has a spirit animal book. Also look up into the spirit animal book.
And of course, when you think of a hummingbird, for me, I always think of this little tiny, tiny creature that, if you look at its wingspan and its size, shouldn't even be able to fly, but it does. So maybe that was a message for you of, you may feel small and insignificant, but wow, you can achieve amazing.
Yeah. And if I don't, with the cardinal, what I'm going to say, but I'm not going to go into readings or anything, but I just feel that she had a grandmother. There was just a very loving, close grandmother that was present right there at that time. So, so as we're saying, the law of action has to be applied to manifest all that the one wishes to create. So this means that an individual must engage in activities that support dreams, emotions, and words. A commitment must be made, goals set out, and a desire to achieve even when we encounter conflict or difficulty. So thoughts, emotions, words, and then action are the key for success. So think about it. Thought is energy, emotion is energy, words are energy. So all that behind, and then action, which is you pushing all this energy forward, will come into manifestation. So
Debbie just put, the more you pay attention to the signs and show gratitude, the more the signs you get. It's true. And she said, yes, I felt it was my grandmother. So I just wanted to give you that confirmation. Sorry.
Awesome. Yeah. And like you said, with gratitude, absolutely. And another thing to do is, if you have a gratitude daily journal, and write your gratitude in daily, and express yourself and what you're thankful for, and with great gratitude and blessings and everything else, you again are still keeping that energy, and that energy is in that book, and that energy is around you, and raising the vibration and keeping it there at this level, on when we're in so much of a human level with everything that goes on, is hard. But kudos to anybody that is trying, because when you try, you will get somewhere.
And of course, that's what the card said.
Read that again. I can't even see it.
Okay. So the card that was chosen today was, I am sacred so I can vibrationally empower my individuality. And again, this is, heart open, hands open. And Connie's just put here, I begin and end every day with gratitude. Absolutely. And
fantastic.
If you're too busy in the morning, I always do it as I'm going to sleep. So I'm laying there in bed in my PJs and ready to go. And I'll just be thankful for all the things, I haven't had a shower for 2 days. I know that sounds gross, but today I was able to shower. But I
told her to go and swim in the ocean.
We had a slight glitch here. Welcome to Mexico. So anyway, but I was grateful that I had a bed to lie in and food in my belly and things like that. So sometimes when we have this, things that don't quite go right, we can get really peed off and stuff like that. Yeah, we're human, but we don't have to stay in that vibration. So I love this. Debbie's just put, gratitude and affirmations are game changers for Sun. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I start my mornings off. It's like, I come down, and first thing out, it's like, let the dog out and run to pee. Excuse me. And then I do all these things. And before I get into the mundane of human life, I sort of have to go, okay, when I wake my eyes up, I go, morning dew, morning spirit, this sort of thing. Then I go to do the rest. And then when I come down, and then with the figure of 8 is like the circle of life. So it's the way that I draw in that energy. Then I invoke. Basically, I invoke the light of the Christ within, as I'm a clear and perfect channel, and the light is my guide. I'm on with saying that, and then I go into the Om. And I do the Om for 3. Then I talk to my spirit guides. I welcome them in for any lessons that I've learned, for messages for loved ones. And this I do every morning.
Yeah.
And some mornings it will be later, like it won't be as soon as I get up. It'll be, oh shoot, I didn't get that done today. Oh, sorry. Because I got into life. And then at night I do my gratitude journal. I go to bed. I'll read one of my spiritual books, going on to that. And then as I go to sleep, it's like the Waltons.
I must admit, for me, it's like I've either got my cup of coffee or cup of tea, and I'm sitting there, and usually I have a chat first with my dad, and then from there, it's like it opens it up to other things. And here's the thing: if you don't feel that you can do that, just wake up every morning and say 3 times, "Thank you, thank you, thank you."
Yeah, acknowledgement is. And it's it's a journey. It's not a race.
Yeah.
Right. And if I'm completely honest with them, from when I was way back and I was sort of getting messages and passing messages off and things like this, to me that was my connection. It wasn't. I'm not as full on then as I am now. And the reason I'm full on now is because I want to go higher. I want to open up more. I want to, learn more. Hence that, I've got like 2 bookcases, I should say, of books that I'm still buying and I haven't read yet. So I'm really, really getting into it because it's addictive. It is addictive. And then I hate that when anything happens in life that pulls me down and I get lost in that life, and I have that disconnect. It is literally like walking through black sludge quagmire, and life is so hard. And even to have that conversation and everything, so all of a sudden it's just like, hey, come on, get out of it. You know, this isn't me. You know, and again with that, you know, it takes work. But after all, no matter what we do, how many messages we give, how many healings we do, you know, how many meditations or anything like that, we first and foremost here a human.
Yes.
You know, so we have we do have those same battles. So, and so, like, as we said, so the thoughts, emotion, words, and then action are the key for success and God realization. So when actions are accompanied by positive thought and expressions of love, we are able to achieve our desires. This all comes from within. Whilst maintaining our connection to the higher self, we are able to perceive when action is required or not required. As in the case of reaction, the higher self is able to discern as to when the appropriate action is needed to manifest positive events and situations in our lives.
I'll just
put this. We'll also have to realize, and the law of action as well, when you want to take it, is if you're being victimized, if you're being abused or anything like that, and you crumble and that becomes a power for them, you need to look into the action of what you can do to prevent it. And then that literally comes back again with our intent, but it also comes with claiming, you know, your inner power, your guidance, your your goddess power.
Hello, Farador Agumi Bimi is now spamming on Facebook. So I'm asking this person to leave immediately because he's putting people's names down there and box for me with love readings and spell on it. That is absolutely rude. And again, your intention for doing this is not in the same vein of what we're sharing here today.
I have to block him several times.
Him or report him, because this is what Facebook needs to stop. This kind of BS interrupting energetic and positive stuff. If I could go on there and delete him, I would, but I can only do that by going in, and I can see if I can go in onto my Facebook
He does do this. He will personally message the people, and what I will add on to that is he will then turn around and say that you have attachments, that only he can get rid of it, and it's money. Don't fall for it, because it's so, this is the other force that's working to stop the higher. And I don't like, for what we're going through now. I'm not surprised.
Well,
I'm really not. But he just sits there and waits. Yeah, you can actually go on his profile page as well. That's pretty open. But
I apologize to everybody. And this is the first time I've gone back to do a live on Facebook.
Yeah.
This is why I do everything from YouTube, because these people cannot do this on YouTube.
Yeah. Once you come off and you've blocked him, then he won't. Yeah. No, he even went on my personal page and messaged everybody, and not on my dimensional page, and messaged everybody, because my personal page is closed. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see if I can. I'm deleting him now, and again, apologies to everybody that's taking part. Sadly, at this point, Facebook don't allow you to block that person. So
I think you have to go into, once you pick it up, you have to go onto his page, and then you have to block him from that. And in one way, I wouldn't apologize for it, because the simple fact is, it's bringing him to light where more and more people are going to block him. Yeah. So he's exposing himself. So you know, for everybody who's on there who does not want to get a message for him, just go on and get onto his personal page. Then you can go up and then it will come down and say block on his profile, everything else. And then you just block. And that is exactly what. Yeah, he will. Yes, he will. He'll message you as well. And then if you turn around and say you're not interested, then it will come up that, you know, he'll force on that he has a love potion, you know, and
no worries, Eddie, don't let that dull your beautiful sparkle. No.
Yeah, no, for me now, no, it doesn't, because I just think the more that do this, the more that expose themselves, the more they're blocked, their dark can't shine because their light hasn't shone out.
Yeah.
That's when I look at it. So we'll go on to the law of attraction.
Yes,
we're attracting him. So no, I don't. What is hidden within will picture what will appear on the outside. So the law of attraction states that we create the people, the events, and the situation in our lives according to our thoughts and feelings. Positive thoughts, feelings, words, and actions will attract more of the same positive vibrations. Like attracts like, so negative thoughts, feelings, words, and actions will attract people and situations that reside on the same frequency.
I like this. It's all part of the lessons of the day. All good, ladies. Yes, yeah. Jenny, it certainly is.
Yeah, and I just love who we have on,
yes,
like our audience, because, you know, like, for yourselves to have that uplifting, that vibration, and going, yeah, go for it, yeah, this is it. It's great, and continue with that in actual life, because you'll fly. All your wings are opening, you'll fly. Yes. So,
and I think next time if we do this, I'll just have it to my exclusive Facebook group, which I will share at the end, because nobody can infiltrate that until they answer 3 questions. And if they're in there and they're being naughty, they get bumped out. My place, my place. So I might just.
I've been reminded several. Yeah, I've been reminded several times, because I'm like the proverbial child, you know, and I get the.
Yeah, we won't talk about Facebook today. No.
So, okay. Like attracts like, so negative thoughts, feeling, worse actions will attract people and situations that reside on the same frequency. So in the positive example of this is the unexpected arrival of money when needed, that chance encounter, the sudden arrival of the right book. Now in the negative part of it, right, it's the loss of money, the sudden cancellation, always meeting the obstacles. Like, you know, you're going out the door, you trip over the chair, you trip over the mat, and, you know, you hit your head on the door and you're like, whoa, my gosh, like, it's as if somebody's stopping me from going out. No, they are. Like, really, that's another way of looking at it, you know.
Pay attention when that happens, because this is when you may be stopped for a reason.
Yeah.
And every time that that's happened to me, there has been the possibility of something that could have happened to me physically. So I'm thankful for those, even though at the time, in my humanness, as we all do, we get upset, we get frustrated, we get angry. And then eventually, when we've gone through all those physical human emotions, we go, okay, what am I missing here? That's usually what I say to spirit. What am I missing here? And that's when something kicks in. And that's when we just have to, and that's okay. They're used to us going through these. He's still doing it.
Is he doing it again?
He's doing it again. And I'm still blocking him.
Yeah. No, he'll just be on. I should just ignore him, because he's coming. He's taking away.
Yeah, he's taking away.
Let him just do his comments, everything else, because then we can hit a big shebang afterwards.
Yeah.
So like when we have that and we have those signs, so the inner thoughts and emotions determine the level at which one vibrates. Another way of looking at it is when you see a photo of somebody and you go, oh my God, what are you doing? Your eyes are bright, your skin's glowing. Like, what fix have you been on? By hitting spirituality and living your life and being centered, balanced, and gusto with, you know, and cutting out the stress and everything in, your inner light will shine. It will come, you know, it will come through. I'm 130 next week. Like, you know, it works.
Yeah. Well, I can remember many years ago in my 20s. Now, to me, when you're in your 20s, 30 is old. And so on and so on and so on. Yeah. You know, like as a kid, we used to talk at I'm 12 3/4. Now we just go, pick a number.
Yeah.
No, I don't mind saying I'm 63. That's okay. But for some people, and I can remember when we would say things like this conversation I was having with a friend, and she said, I can see us as two little old ladies in a care home somewhere causing absolute havoc. Yeah. And I said, yes. And she said, and I'm going to live to 103. I said, me too, if not longer. Now, that was in my 20s when age was not a relative point of comment, as it were, because when we're 20, like 30's old. So me too, bring that into, so I'm waiting to see what happens. So I'm having some fun at 51. I like that, Debbie. And Eva's just joined us. Thanks for joining us, Eva. So anybody that's just joining us at this point, you can go back at the end of this and listen to the whole video again. All right. So we're coming up to 10:36 or 12:36, I should say. I'm on mountain time now. So it's causing a little bit of head playing here. So roll on.
So when we're saying about how we have that, when the you know, our vibration is raised up to have that light, that sparkle, you'll also see it is when you have, you know, you've gone on that journey and you know you've evolved, you have left loved ones behind, you've left friends, because your vibration is that much higher that you seek a higher vibration.
Right.
And then when you come back and you see people that haven't evolved and you're looking and you're like, are you okay? And they go, yeah, I'm fine. And you're like, you look ill. Like, have you been ill? Or no, I'm perfectly okay. Because they're aging as, you know, as humans. And this is energy does keep you alive. Energy, you know, the high vibration does keep you youthful, keeping that inner child alive. And that's why we keep saying about connect to your inner child. And, you know, people go, why do I have to connect to my inner child? Like, you know, I need to be a mature adult. Well, we can be mature adults, but still keep that inner child alive, you know, and be free, because it helps and allow that energy to flow.
One of the things I've always said as I've been, you know, moving in age is some people say to me, act your age. And I said, but I don't know how I'm supposed to act at 63. So I'm acting the way I think is okay.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like
your perspective of it, you know.
Yeah.
Some people say to me, well, you can't be 63 because you do this and you act that way. And I'm like,
I think there was two pictures that I see, and I can't remember. I just can't. It is absolutely, and people probably know who I mean. She is a coloured lady from down the States, and I think she's 81 or 82. She started fitness and bodybuilding. I think it was at 55 with her sister. Her sister passed over, and it showed her picture. She had the body like of a 35, 40-year-old.
I've seen this gal.
Right? I just can't remember her name. And she teaches now. She works out every day. It had her at 82, and it also had another lady who was 80 that's sitting on a chair looking out the window, and no, instead of being fit, had. Sadly, you know, it was as if she'd given up on life. And when people are going on, you get tired, you go in here and you can't do this, you can't do that. And that's their perspective of it. Just, I know her name and I can't say it, but just think back to her weight training and running and, you know, those sort of things. I mean, such an inspiration to us that, you know, that we can, you know, achieve it. Like I have gained weight over this with, you know, with COVID, Why? Because I was at home. I ain't going out. I'm not going to go and see anybody. The wrong thing to think and wrong thing to do. It should still have been a daily of exercise. Even just getting out, walking around your yard, onto that, like still taking control of yourself. And the older that you get, it's true, the harder it is to get it off. And that is where I'm battling now. But it's like, nope. And what is it, like a moment's pleasure on the lips is like a lifetime on the hips. You can be however you want at any age. I've let my inner child out to play a lot this year, and I've never been happier. So many complaints about 2020, but it's been an amazing year for me. It's all in my absolutely. For me to be at home, to study more, create, and everything else, it was one of the best things that that happened to me. And to be able to get ahead, but I also relaxed with it. And we've
got another one now. Belish White is coming on here. Oh gosh, it must be, we now have Belish White coming on here. So again,
you'll get loads of them. It's just best to ignore them. And they're not even listening to it. They just come on, hit, post, hit, go down, click on everybody. It's like cold calling.
Well, Balash, whoever you are, you'll be dashed. I'm done. I'm taking you out. So we may be seeing it in the side stream here. The one thing, like, I love Betty White, and she's, I think, in her 90s now. And she was in the Golden Girls, and she played, in fact, when she was in the Golden Girls, she was one of the older people there. Oh gosh, you are so funny, these people. I love it.
I always like
everybody. We'll be doing a lot of blocking today. So and again, I will do this in next time in my private group, and people will have to do you do trolls for spells? I like it. He's going, she is going through everybody that's listening in today. So anyway, we will continue to keep going here, and I'll keep deleting you. So you can keep doing this, and all you're going to do is get reported to Facebook, Balash. So
and they're not interested.
They'll just change it and give it another name. So any questions from anybody with regard to the universal laws at this point? If you have, pop them into the feed, and I can pick them up and put them in front for Ida May there. And what I think we might do is, if we're going to do this, you and I, as a workshop, we will just do it in the group. And next time I do this, and it's through Facebook, it'll be through the group. My exclusive platform, which if you want to join, is below in the feed as well. And that's on Facebook. So any questions from anybody at this stage? If you
also have on here, our higher self, right, will understand every weakness within that creates the character flaw. So things are drawn to us for a personal growth, but once the lessons have been learned, you rise above the vibrational rate of those tests, so you don't have to experience them again. Therefore, a better life can come. And this is a game where we do have to step back, that when people make mistakes is not to judge them and not to assume and presume that they should know better. Because if you go to the higher part of you, you can get old souls, you can get new souls, right? You can also, taking it even one step further, that for a person who can't cope with life, gets a walk-in, and then after the walk-in has left, you're still dealing with that person and everything else, and you think that you're like, oh, lights are there, but they're not quite on, right? So you're dealing with that person.
So think of it like Balash and the other person that's coming in, they're like walk-ins in our conversation today. They're just trying to detract and take us offline and
no, not with this. A walk-in is when the soul cannot cope with human life, and the human part of that person is not dealing with life, and you can ask for a walk-in to come and help you learn the lesson. So basically, it's somebody that's holding you and then carrying you through. It's a hard one to explain. And again, you know, you can ask for them to come in, but you can also make a contract with them before you come here to have them walk in when it gets tough and you know that you're not going to be able to cope. Now, often that somebody will have, when they have had them come in and it's time for them to leave, that person has really no recollection of the last year, 5 years, or I remember something. I remember that. I don't remember this. Well, you do, because we went here and here. There'll be little snippets, but life was too hard. So you had the walk in, the walk out. And that, if you talk to people and they go, yeah, but do you know, when I was a kid, I can remember to that and them coming, but then I don't remember anything for, you know, until 3 years later, 5 years later. Think back to when they had a walk-in. Life was too hard. This is why we don't assume, presume, or judge that, you know, those people. And we have to make mistakes to learn the lesson. Now, if we do something once, right, and we're like, oh my gosh, that didn't go as planned, and you do it again and it doesn't go as planned, okay, I'm going to take a different course. You've learned the lesson. Now, for somebody who does it once, does it twice, does it a third time,
repeat offenders,
that becomes a choice.
Yes,
that's a human choice. That's them when they have to be held accountable. What's working for you is not working for me. And
looping,
they take the consequences
with through the same thing again and again and again, like a little hamster on the wheel, and we've not realized that we can break that and move into the direction that's going to assist us. But if we want to keep doing the same thing over and over again, then we get that choice. They're not going to say, no, you can't do this.
It's also
to say break that.
You know, that's the free will. That's where discernment comes in. And then you need to use, you know, your intuition as to, okay, what really resonates with me, what really is my truth, and where to go on, instead of getting in the ego and the pity party of, I don't care, you know, I'm going to do it anyway. That's not evolving. That's very low, low energy.
Hard sometimes to make the decision. Yes, it is, but we can make another decision. The thing is, I think what sometimes we get stuck with is, if I make this decision and it's wrong, I'm stuck with it. Well, we're not, because we can make another one and another one, just like we make choices. I don't know, how many thousand choices do we make a day? There's somebody that's had a predictive count of how many times we get choices throughout our day, and we make decisions based on them.
Well, it's the same as, you know, it comes into tribal laws.
Yes.
You know, if you want to go, you know, onto that. Not all of us have had a great childhood or a great upbringing, and
guilty as charged.
Those that have evolved and connected, you know, turned around and said, I'm stopping that. I'm not going to subject my children to that.
Yeah.
So you've made an alternative route, and victim mentality used to have that.
Yeah, me too. Guilty as charged. That's how I put my hand on.
But that's life. That's life lessons, and that's you raising your vibration and learning the lessons that, you know, as you go. And the thing is, again, that's another broad subject of victim mentality, because
yes,
you know, for people, any attention is good intent. Any attention is good attention, whether it's good or bad. Because if somebody's not getting attention, they will take whatever it is. The same as a child in an abusive relationship, right? With abusive parents, still want love and nurturing. But if all they get is the hurt, they will take the hurt because they get that contact. And this is what a lot of social workers and things do not realize. Judges and things, of when the kid is there and like, well, you went back.
Yes.
Well, of course they're going to go back. That's all they know. You know, that's, you know, they're getting attention. They get that somebody is loving them.
The only way they can get it. So even just, I believe also that we do meet certain souls that we met in previous lives too, and they are either indebted to us or us to them. And this can sometimes be seen as a mistake, perhaps in this life. Yeah, especially
that's a karma. That's a held karma. and that carries on into this time. It can be, okay, I'm going to give the example to my ex husband. We had I think 3 lives before, and we had this life, and the same scenarios were playing in this life, but in a life in other, he'd been my husband before, but he'd also been my brother, and he'd also what else had he been? I can't think of that one right now. But like a squire or something, like, like that. So in this life, yes, and we married, but it was, my soul was telling me this was a repeat that was going on. When am I going to stop this pattern? And to stop it wasn't just about getting divorced and leaving. It was about the whole of everything.
Acknowledging it.
Yes, of what was happening. Why was I allowing it? What was wrong with me that made this acceptable, right? And that I endured it, because it not only did they show me it with him, and now that's gone and done and done. It's ended, but it also come out in friends.
Yes.
And other people that I had. It was there was so many. You can learn a lesson, but they will test you to see if you've truly learned it.
Yeah.
So I had it with other friends, and I'm like, whoa, this reminds me of.
That memory.
So what ended up was throat chakra opens. I started to express and voice. Then it caused more conflict. So the cycle goes on and on. But if you're being true to you, and you are being totally honest about how you feel, what you're presenting, what you're taking, what you're giving, your lesson is learned.
I like that. Debbie said, I call my ex my was band. It always makes me giggle and keeps me from feeling negative about the relationship ending. And with my ex, I remind myself of all the great things that he gave to me, to us, our son.
Yeah.
Because I had to have a hysterectomy at 28. I couldn't have any child. Every time I fell pregnant after our son was born, it kept aborting. I kept miscarrying. Yeah. So we were meant to meet at that time. We were meant to marry. I was supposed to have his child, our child. And that was the completion of that relationship. But it took many, many years after that for us both to see that. So it's okay when we go back. So I take those golden nuggets with me of all those great things. And now that's okay.
Yeah. It had to and I thank my ex, my friends and everything for the lessons that they showed me that I was to learn.
Yes,
and that is the thing, like, and as it's saying, like, through here, raising that vibration to meet it on that level, actually does take some doing, but you have to realize as well, soul to soul is purity. Right? We're here. I'm playing a movie role. Debbie is. Everybody watching, you're playing in a movie, right? Yeah. So is all your partners. But when you go back to the other side, you connect on a soul to soul. And you're not going to go back there and turn around and go, you did this to me when I was on the other side.
This is where Chris says.
If somebody now has, that you have this contract in this relationship, and being in that relationship, they overstepped the mark, and they, made you endure it, and they enjoyed it and everything else. That's not for us to teach them. They have a karmic path that is going to really come back and bite them, because that's not what the contract is about on learning the lessons. It's enough for us to learn it, not to get abused to the, like that extent. So there is a karmic thing. They go on a different level. They do have to work through and learn it, because the dimensions that we are here, which are the color of the rainbow, they have a starting point, they have an ending point. This goes on to the other side. Now you've heard of angels. Angels haven't had an earthly experience. They choose to learn on the other side. The dimensions are on the other side. There is no time, but they still learn it through the love base. We've come here to learn it quicker. Yeah, we've all got, if you like, we can all turn around and say, we have that bit of the ego over the other side saying, yep, I'm going to learn it quicker. I'm going to go back there and I'm going to heal the world. And I'm, so if you want to look at it like that, but we come, but we don't have it that we should endure it to the extent. So there are some people that as I was saying before, with what happens to you in your life, you have a choice which way you want to take it. Some can see and think above, I don't want to hurt somebody as I've been hurt.
Yeah.
So you become an empath and move up. For others that are like, I don't want to feel, I don't want to see, I hate everybody, and they take it to that extent. Mm-hmm. They still have a soul, but by Guy, have they got many, many lifetimes that of healing and growing, to do. Yeah. But the thing is, we don't sort of, if they've done that, we don't go, oh, they have a pure soul, so it really doesn't matter. Oh, no, these are what the universal laws are about, what you have to abide by living here. Yeah. If we want to take it into the Bible, of the 10 Commandments and things like this, we all have rules that we have to abide by. Yeah. Our kids are like, I want to leave home. I'm fed up with your rules. They need to realize that
there's rules everywhere.
The rules outside of parenting, are far more intense.
Yeah, we were all that eager and pushing against it. I always, when Chris Lee explains with past life regression, he always says that it's like a script we get, and we're all, those in our soul group are all the extras, and would you like the fries with that, or they're the main protagonist or whoever, and we all agree in energy form to play this through, assist each other, because we're doing it in pure love. It's just like actors. We may have be an actor in a play and then have to be the real mean person, but we're not that real mean person. We're just playing that role for that particular movie. And that's exactly what happens here. So when we go back to spirit, we're just in pure love. And it's like, hey, let's have the beer and we're all good and everything was okay. But we just don't understand it here because we're full of emotion. And we're like,
the thing is, your soul is who you see yourself as, right? Because in many lifetimes, if you connect with that, you look the same. Every lifetime I am the same. I'm still dark haired, I'm still curly haired, right? It's the same. And now with my friends over to the other side, really, we all met before. We have. We've all met before.
No coincidences. That's what I always say.
No. And okay, whoever it was just put the message before with saying that, I don't know, maybe in a past lifetime you could have been my cousin.
Yep.
I love it. When you like going through. Anyway, the last part of this is, as we increase our vibration, we tend to become quieter and more connected to our inner self. Therefore, the people and places we previously resonated to, we become disassociated with, and initially this change can give a feeling of loneliness and separation. And that is so true, because if you look at it in a human form with the ego, it's, well, you only just need something when you're feeling like that, to somebody to turn around and say, yeah, well, you pushed everybody away. Nobody likes you. And then you're like, I'm lonely. Yeah, I am. I don't have friends. Oh, they're right. Yeah. And then you start that analysis of yourself of, okay, they wanted me to be this, they wanted me to be that. Then you start wearing many faces and changing yourself to fit in. You've lost yourself. Yes. So you stand back and you go, okay, this is who I am. Write down who you are. Yeah. Like, turn around and say to yourself, okay, this is all my positives. This is what I feel are my positives. This is what I feel I can improve on. Don't say it's a negative. It's what I can improve on. Yeah. Okay, with that, and bring in Auntie Joan. And Auntie Joan turns around and says that, I'm antagonistic, right? So when you're turning around and you're looking at her and you're thinking, oh, okay, I'm antagonistic. Am I antagonistic?
Can be.
I am. I feel I can improve on communication. I need to learn to listen. If I let people speak before I reply, then that won't come across like I'm being antagonistic. There's a way to sort yourself out and find that. Then talk to spirit and then do these steps and then get up. But you don't put a negative in, because you're not negative. You're learning. Okay. So you, from your positive to your learning aspect, bring people in with it, but do not turn your face so that you can be like on The Exorcist by having a face for everybody to fit in, because what you're doing then is you're lying to them.
Yes.
You're not presenting your true self. Then they have every right to turn around and say, why were you like that then? Because that's who I thought you were. No, this is how I am. And then it's like, I can't trust you because I didn't get the true you. So that's why it is in everything, to whether you're, you know, getting into a new relationship, going to a job, you know, to family, however it is, even if you are not going to get it by being true to yourself, it wasn't meant to be. Don't make the shoe fit because you can't walk your path because your feet will hurt.
Yes, exactly. You'll be crippled. Yeah. Well, we've come up to 11 o'clock. So we've just gone over the hour. So we will.
Well, we haven't even got to the third one.
I know. Well, I think we should do this as a workshop. I really do, because I think it's opening up. So if anybody would like to,
like once you've read it and you go out there into life of it, it's, you know, it really, really is. And I mean, this is what I'm doing here. It is actually part of my high dimensional healing course.
Yes.
That's what we go through. That course itself takes you from a human being learning meditation to becoming a medium, to becoming a healer, working with the high dimensions and understanding where human beings are coming from, what level they're on, what vibration that they're on. And it incorporates all energies, oils, crystals. And I don't mean a crystal of you take green for the heart or anything like it. It takes crystals to a new level of lasers, of vogels, of wands. You know, like it's I call it the shebang. And then the healing, it's everything we've talked about comes into the healing, you know, with the whole shebang. And that is the thing. It's so very, very, you know, in depth. I mean, like, yeah, there's still nine more to go.
I know. Well, we should either do this again, but I'm going to do it through the sharing place, which is my exclusive platform. Because
I think the main ones for people that have just done on action and actually we've only done two. We've only done action and attraction,
which is good. It's action and attraction,
which right now, the next one is you know, is vibration.
Yeah.
You know, like with how with everything vibrates. So if you take the action and the attraction of it, and then just think of the vibration, that vibration is how you're acting and responding to it, to how you can magnify it. And everything vibrates. Everything vibrates.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So is there anything?
And I could say, like, going now, like, because it's getting so close, you know, to Christmas, I hope that with the action and the attraction gives you more of a how that you can be more self-aware of what you're putting out there, but then look at it of the vibration. Like, we, you know, all of us can have that somebody that's like, oh my God, like when I'm near, I vibrate. Right? I literally vibrate when they're near, and I wish they would go away and stop talking. Remember, when you start feeling like that, you're manifesting it, and the energies, you're hitting their energy, they're hitting your energy, and when that spirals and that encompasses around you, just think of it. You know, your layers go out to the end of your arm. If you're that close, and like only a foot away, you're right in each other. Her emotions become yours become hers if you can't discern and separate.
Yeah.
So that's when somebody has to step back and literally take responsibility and go, okay, I'm going to diffuse this situation. I'm stepping away from this. You don't need to be a right fighter, especially at this time of the year, and especially with how these months, you know, have led up to it. You can then suddenly wait into the new year when things have settled down and go, okay, certain things need to be addressed. You don't need to go straight out and address them. They can come up in topics of conversation.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that you're getting a point across because you've smart and raised your vibration enough to find the words to take it to a higher level.
Yeah.
Okay. So that, like that, you know, that really is the key behind it.
Something I've done when, you know, somebody's really ticked me off, as I say, rather than saying it to their face or doing that, because I know that energy is still in me and it can be rolling around, is I write it down on a piece of paper or I verbalize it out, not to them, but so it gets it out of me and I'm not holding it in, because we know what happens when we hold it in. We just keep recycling it within us and we go, well, I should have said this and I should have done that and this is what I should, and it becomes this whole spiral effect downwards for us. So if we verbalize it out and just let it go and then move on. Well, I want to thank you, Ida.
You're welcome.
You shared. Is there anything that you've got upcoming in the next short while that you want to share with everybody on this feed?
I am actually working to do, I've had a lot of people ask me to do some online you know, classes and also mentoring. Yes. So I'm now actually going to start being open to do more mentoring because I am, you know, as well as I just call it like spiritual life coaching.
Yes.
And a lot of it comes from, you know, my own experiences, courses that I've, you know, done, that sort of thing. I am doing mediumship readings. I actually have a special on at the moment. Normally 125. I have them on at 100.
That's a good
same with high dimensional healings. I have those at 100, and all I can say to you is if you can open your mind enough to know of, like, what happens in time and space. Okay, these healings are taking place in time and place. They're taken up to the soul purpose, to your soul. So your body is the human body that we see, but you have etheric bodies. Whereas there's 7 layers and 21 layers in each layer of your human body, right? So every element that you've got in your human body has gone out into these etheric layers. So by taking them into a time, you know, of a higher healing in time and space, and you're relaxed and connecting onto this level, then I can actually go through, and Spirit does, on this high healing. And it does, it incorporates all the crystals and everything, because crystals are energy and you draw them in, and with the intent behind, like as we said, there's action. And then we've also, you know, which was divine oneness, right? Yeah. That we're into this, you know, this together. So they actually are fantastic healings. For people who want to come in person, it's that contact that they want.
Yeah.
I also drum, I use singing bowls, I chant. Anything that ever, you know, comes through takes it up into that level. And the other thing, being at home, if you can go into your bedroom and you're protected in your bedroom, because it goes to such a higher place, there's nothing else that can come in. So when I do it in my own home, I have the room, like I have to seal, you know, everything else. It's, you know, it is a lot more work in my room. But those are on, you know, for $100.
Again, Ida's information is in the feed below this video or above it, depending upon which channel you've come through, so you can connect with her there. So join me next Monday at noon Eastern, when we have yet another guest here, where we share the positive by raising the vibration. And here's my December roundup. So December the 12th, this coming Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern, I'm offering a free live 1-hour workshop on Facebook, and it's called Dream Like a Child Again. And I've dropped the link, and it is in my exclusive Facebook group, and it's called Debbie A. Anderson, The Sharing Place. And just so you're aware, this is not a sit back and listen type of workshop. You will be expected to work, because I'm not going to do the work. I can give you the information. So if you want to join my group as well, there are 3 questions you have to answer. If you answer 1 or none, you're not in the group. You're deleted. It's declined. As I say, this is my platform, my rules. I want to make sure that we have no trolls and crapolas entering in there. And this is part of what I do. You get me for free, so I expect something back from you. So the lineup for the Monday Lives are December the 14th. Barbie Lee Hemmings is joining me, and it's the top 5 things to ask for this year. On December the 21st, I have Jordan from the Estate of Health. And because it is a winter solstice, we will be bringing in all the elements of winter solstice, and she will be talking about this amazing place that she's opened. December the 28th is Shelley Rusky's, and we're going to be talking about holiday blues and bloats. Oh, that'll be well in time. We've been stuffed from the turkey or whatever.
That. Yeah.
And a quick check-in here to remind you, I post almost daily on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook. So I'm hopeful that people get to see this. As I said, no weekly reading this week. You want to find out more, go to my Facebook page and read it. So I want to say thank you.
Okay, if I can have just a quick word. For anybody who has received a reading from me, I would so appreciate it if you could give feedback about the reading. This is because I'm doing a extensive, intensive, higher mediumship course. Because once that is completed, then my readings will be going up. Because I'm always working at bettering myself. And so if I, and I do a lot for free. So if you really could, yeah, we do. And if you could really give the, a blurb, whatever you want to call it, write a little blog about it. On
testimonial.
That I then can present, as well. Like I say, there's a lot of work that I'm putting in there. So
please put it to Ida at one of her links.
On my rainbow, if they go onto my Rainbow Dimensional Healing page, and whereas it says leave a comment or whatever it is, just write it there, and then I can copy and paste it or print it off onto that. I would really, really, really be really be grateful with it. So.
Connie says, thank you very much, ladies. Much appreciated. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Yes, have a vibrational day. Enjoy life. And thank you again, Ida.
And keep the inner child alive.
I love it. Thank you. And goodbye from us both. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.